Hey, welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. What's up, fellas?
Hey, Sean.
Howdy.
It is July 12th, 2023. This is a spoiler-filled podcast. Anything is on the table. We will spoil shit.
Except for Mission Impossible, because Rob has not seen it.
Possible. We'll spoil Mission Impossible.
Oh, we're so spoiling it right now.
Well,
No, not really.
So, yeah, we're going to be discussing... What the hell did we watch? I'm a Virgo. We're going to be discussing...
Dr. Jones.
I don't remember if anything else came out.
Dude, I watched... have you guys heard about The Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Oh, man, I fucking loved it, dude. Oh, it's so good. It's about a restaurant, a guy who comes back from culinary school to try and help out his brother died, and he's trying to help out save the business and stuff. So I loved it because I worked in restaurants, you guys know, for like 7-8 years or whatever. So I love that aspect of it. And like he's got an Italian family too. So I was instantly hooked. The second season is better than the first. And there is one episode in the second season that is phenomenal. Like all the other episodes are like 30 minutes long. This one's like an hour long, and it deals with like flashbacks and stuff. And it's oh my God, it's so fucking good, man. I really like this show. I think you guys will like it.
Molly started watching. What's that show you wanted us to watch about the video game on HBO? The Last of Us. The Last of Us. The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
With Pedro Pascal. Molly started watching it, and I was like, she's like, "Have you watched this?" I was like, "Hell no, it's too scary." And she's like, I was like, "Why are you watching it?" And she's like, "It's not that scary." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah, it's not scary at all."
She said she liked it. She says it's really good.
Yeah, it was good.
I guess I gotta watch it if it ain't scary.
I thought we told you it wasn't scary.
Yeah, but I didn't believe you.
Dude, we'll tell you if something's scary. I want to see all those movies that Sean told me to watch by that one director. He does a lot of horror, really scary shit from what I hear. You've said that to me and I've heard it from other people. The guy that did The Lighthouse, what was that? What was his name?
Oh, Robert Eggers?
I think that's the guy I'm thinking of. He did other scary movies, right?
I think he only did one. It was called The Witch.
Oh, maybe not.
He did The Witch, was a good horror movie. You might be thinking like Ari Aster did.
That's the guy.
Midsummer.
That's it. What's the other one he did?
Hereditary. You can see Hereditary.
Yeah. I've got to watch that.
It's on my Vudu. Like if you need my login, just let me know.
I remember you said that was really, really scary, and I've heard somebody else say it was like scarring.
It's not. I wouldn't say scary. I would say it is just a really good horror movie. It's horrifying, but it's not. As an adult, I don't know that I've seen a scary movie. That I get scared like the way I did when I was a kid. But I mean, there's still horrifying imagery, psychological horror.
Yeah. That's the stuff I like. Well, don't like, but like,
Have you seen Sinister?
No, I haven't said, dude, I haven't watched scary movie.
Oh my God.
Man.
I'm about to turn this into Steve watches whatever the fuck I tell him to, because I'm tired of you not watching these movies.
Dude, I watch something every week, every time, or every 2 weeks you tell me to watch something. I watched I Am a Virgo. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I watched it.
Oh, we're going to get to that. I watched, and it's on my Vudu. I don't recommend you watch it, though. I bought it because I was excited, and I watched it today. It's the new Transformers movie.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
The Beast?
Yeah, Rise of the Beast.
Yeah. The Beast shall rise.
I don't even care.
So there's seven.
There's
Rob. 7 Transformers movies, right? Not including the animated one, but 7 in basically the Michael Bay, whatever.
Was Bumblebee Michael Bay too?
He was a producer, but I mean, it's all part of that. The Michael Bay universe. That's the word.
Is Michael universe? Is Michael Bay separate from Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer? because I know they work together a lot, but like,
yeah, I mean, I think Bruckheimer and Simpson are more like production. They produce movies, and then I'm sure they've produced Michael Bay movies in the past.
okay.
I don't really follow, so I don't know. I mean, I do remember seeing their name on a lot of '90s stuff like Con Air and stuff like that.
I thought
Armageddon.
I thought Top Gun was Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Was it? Yeah, it might be. I don't know. You could be absolutely right on that. So yeah, I got Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and again, 7 movies in the Michael Bay universe. And I told Maggie today, I was like, there are 7 movies in this universe, two of which are worth watching. One of those is just barely worth watching. And I keep buying them. It's my Fast and the Furious. It's the nerdy Fast and Furious, basically. These movies are fucking awful. They're
What are
terrible.
the 2 good ones? The first one and Bumblebee?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
End of list. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole list.
Yeah.
Everything. And it goes down. So, like, the second one is fucking horrible. The third one is slightly better than the second one, but it's not saying much because the second one's horrible. And then the fourth, I don't even remember the fourth one. I finally watched the fifth one, sometime in the past month or two. God damn, that was a slog. Fucking.
Was that the one with Marky Mark?
Yeah, well, he's in 4 and 5.
Ugh.
And
I can't stand. I don't think I like anything he's in.
Yeah, like the Departed kid.
Oh, The Departed. Yeah, that's about as far as
I like the Big Hit. That was a fun movie.
Yeah, it was okay.
This was, so it wasn't as bad as this movie sucked, and it was probably the 3rd best Transformers movie, and it was terrible.
I thought you were excited to see this one because you said
I was. I read some blurbs. I like to go to Rotten Tomatoes and just read the blurbs, and it was basically the review. I went and looked at Transformers 1 blurbs, and the score was similar. I'm like, okay, it's not getting good reviews or anything. For a Transformers movie, it was. I was like, okay, maybe it's along the first one where it's going to be fun. It was not fun. It was stupid. So there's 2 human leads, a guy and a girl. The girl, I think, has never acted before in her life, from what I can tell.
Nice.
She sounds like she is reading her lines like more than half the time. She just sounds like someone who is reading off a cue card. And that should tell you something too, because you don't know. You can't. The other thing is you don't really need, a great acting acumen to be in a Transformers movie and pull. I mean, Megan Fox pulled it off, for God's sake. If Megan Fox could pull it off, anybody should be able to pull off a believable character. So there was that. The Optimus Prime design is great, but they just keep making the same mistake where they try to focus on these human stories. We are not here for the human stories in the Transformers movie. Like, stop it, just stop it.
I thought this one was going to be more Transformers based because of the beasts and everything they were adding.
Dude, the beasts are barely in it. Like,
really?
They're probably in it slightly more than they're in the trailers.
Doesn't the title have beasts in it or something?
Yes, there are some beasts in it for a little bit. But this, I don't understand why they keep putting humans in a Transformers movie or making them central characters or lead characters or anything. And this is why I'm so excited about the new Ninja Turtles movie, because the last 2 were produced by Michael Bay. They were fucking horrible. They focused on humans. This new movie looks like it's 99% mutants, Ninja Turtles. The title characters.
Does Michael Bay have the rights to just live action? Is that why he's not part of this cartoon one?
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he has some sort of contract or Hasbro is just happy with the amount of money they're making on the movies. I don't know what the deal is. But are you talking about Ninja Turtles or Transformers?
Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I don't think he has any rights. I think he was a producer on the last 2. That's it. He got to pick who was making the movie. So basically, it was made in the style of the Transformers movie. Meaning,
that's what I'm saying. He's not associated with this cartoon movie though at all. So I'm wondering if he just has the producing rights to the live action or something.
Hopefully Hasbro, or not, I guess it wouldn't be Nickelodeon, got him off of that shit. Dude, and I mean, this is all Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's producing this one, and it looks great. It nails the look of the turtles, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the silliness, the craziness of that universe. Doesn't try to make them realistic or 7 feet tall or anything. I have a lot of high hopes. I'm very excited for it. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. I will be buying tickets tomorrow to see it on August 1st.
Wait a minute. What? Go back to Rise of the Beast or whatever the fuck it's called. What was the plan? What was the synopsis of this movie? Like,
Unicron is coming. He needs a thing. It's called like a codex or something. I don't know. He needs a thing basically that'll allow him to, like, I think, warp to any universe to eat planets.
oh, okay.
And all I could think is immediately, I'm like, this dude eats planets. Like, isn't he already all powerful? I mean, how much more powerful can you be? You are consuming planets. But he really wants this little thing, so that way he doesn't just destroy the Earth. He has to get this thing first because it ends up on Earth, of course. And then like, so the lead dude, I forget his name. Oh, Noah. His name's like Noah or something. And he's fine. And he pairs up with Mirage, who's voiced by Pete Davidson, who's fine. But so that all the Transformers come out of hiding, which there's like 5 of them or something. And it's like Prime and Bumblebee, Mirage, RC, and I don't know, 1 or 2 other ones. But they come out of hiding because they got to, save the Codex. And he's like, I'm going with you. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, what? Like, that'd be like if you're watching Return of the Jedi and Salacious Crumb is just like, I got this, Jabba. Don't even worry about this shit. I'm going to handle this fucking Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, yeah. Jawa steps up to be the, like, no, you're not going to do anything. And he meets this chick and she works at the museum.
And he ends up, saving the Codex. Is that what happens? The human?
So I'm going to give spoilers here because I can't imagine
it was
anybody
the first
cares.
movie with the Unicron instead of whatever the other thing was.
I thought the Codex was in the first one. I thought that's what melted.
That's the Matrix. The Matrix of power. This is I don't even know. I don't remember if it's called a Codex. I'm calling it that because I don't even fucking remember. It's not worth remembering. But I know it's not the Matrix. That's the only thing I know. It's basically some little thing that will let them warp places. But anyway, like the kid, like Mirage sacrifices himself to save the kid in the 3rd act. And then, but like he's kind of still alive, so he forms like a fucking bionic suit for the kid. And I'm just like throwing shit at my TV. I'm like, I am not here to see a fucking kid fight Transformers. God damn it. And then my first thought, I was like, this looks like the stupid fucking suits from the first G.I. Joe movie. I don't know if you remember, but they have these like bionic suits.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what he looks like.
Exoskeleton.
There's a big reveal at the end. He's going to a job interview, but it turns out it's actually to be hired by G.I. Joe at the end of the movie. And so they want to do the big G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. And meanwhile, it's you haven't even got.
Oh, I thought you made that up.
No, that happens.
Oh my God. That sounds horrible. I thought you were joking because you just brought up G.I. Joe.
No, but
my goodness. Are you serious? They're going to do a crossover.
And
wow,
I would be fine with that if any of the G.I. Joe movies were worth a goddamn, but they haven't even done well with that IP somehow. This shit isn't hard, man. We just want to see giant robots hitting each other, fighting it out. We don't care about human elements.
Crossover with it'd be a trifecta with Battleship.
two shit franchises crossover.
Well, dude, honestly,
bring you more
if you
shit.
Look at the Michael Bay,
Barbie's coming into the universe of Transformers.
If you look at the Michael Bay movies,
yeah,
you basically have that. It already is G.I. Joe there. He always has the human military involved, so it's not really a big difference. Except they're going to call it G.I. Joe instead of the American military.
Oh boy.
Because they focus so much on fucking humans in these movies. I'm actually stoked. I want to see Barbie. I want to go see that, but nobody wants to go see it. Maggie wants to go see it, but she had a bad experience at the theater last time. She got a real bad migraine, so
Barbie so
can't go.
bright it gives me a migraine. But yeah, we'll be seeing that. Brooklyn wants to see that. So wait a minute. So that's their next step is G.I. Joe and Transformers. That'll be the next Transformers movie.
Apparently, I mean, it's not a contract, but that's what they're hinting at. And I mean, it'll do gangbusters, you know. But will it be good? Probably not.
Dude, I don't know how these make money because I stopped.
They got your $20.
Even I stopped going to Transformers movies, man.
They make the money the same way Fast and Furious does. Idiots like me are like, maybe this one'll be good, and then I watch it.
You did buy the full movie, right? You didn't rent it; you bought it, right?
Yeah, but it's only $5 more to buy it. So.
$5 you could have saved.
Well, at the same time, though, I'm like, well, I got all the rest. I may as well. Like, I'm just. And again, there's two of them that are worth watching. Out like, it's got to be one of the worst series out there.
You need something to watch because Hollywood's about to fucking shut down after tonight.
Right?
Are they out of ideas?
No, the actors might go on strike.
They're on strike.
Oh, the actors are going now?
Yeah, midnight tonight if they can't mediate.
What about the directors?
That's going to put a halt. Directors still haven't.
They haven't gone yet? Interesting.
I don't think their contract's up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. It gives us time to catch up on shit I haven't fucking watched. That's fine with me.
No. I've been watching a ton of shit, man. I watched that Transformers. I watched Avatar: Way of Water again.
The whole way through?
All the way through. And Jesus. I liked it a lot more this time.
Really?
It is. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I could pause it. I think I watched it, over 2 days. I didn't watch it straight through. The beginning's a little hard to get through. It's a little too sincere.
Do you know who the kids' names are after the second viewing?
It's like Tuk Maguga and Hima. I think one of them's named Hyman, and then there's Tuket.
What's the human boy's name? Cooter? What's his name?
It's
Spider. Spider. That's the only one I know out of all those kids.
Yeah, I don't know any. One of them is named Sigourney Weaver.
I don't even know the main characters' names.
Jake Sully.
Oh,
and Neytiri.
Yeah, okay, I know Jake Sully.
I genuinely really like Neytiri just because like she's just badass with that bow. There's so many shots of bows or of arrows going into like pilots like through the window, and I just never get sick of that. I don't know. I think it's so cool. I do like seeing that
because you're just attracted to 8-foot tall cat looking women.
He's a badass.
No, the arrows are sweet because the avatar is so big. The arrows are really big.
It's just huge. It's just the sound effect that goes with it, that thunk. It's very satisfying, and I think Cameron knows that because there's a lot of shots of that. But no, I rewatch. I got the Blu-rays. I wanted to rewatch, and
I don't think I ever want to rewatch.
Man, you always give us shit for buying stuff that is garbage, and then you are buying Transformers and fucking.
You don't
Avatar.
give me shit about buying stuff.
Yeah,
he's always like
for that.
Sean's always like, they're gonna keep making crap if you keep buying it.
Right?
Well, he's stop. He's the worst offender.
I wouldn't go that far. Steve's the worst. He buys everything.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking at.
I'm mostly speaking of Fast and Furious. I just want that franchise to die. I fucking hate it so much.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of my.
I don't really have
movies.
A defense for that. It's just hypocrisy.
I'm looking at some of my movies. I got Cold Creek Manor.
What is that? Is that a TV show? What is that?
The Bone Collector. I got Bug. I mean, I got all kinds of shit.
You just buy everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not helping with the Transformers thing. But I was just excited. I was excited because it came to home video so soon, and it was one of those movies.
There was a reason for that.
Right. People weren't going to see it, but I was just like, well, I love, if they put Indiana Jones tomorrow for sale, I'd buy it. I would. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't even good, but
I'm really sad that movie failed, man.
All right, I gotta talk. Here's one thing I wanted to say when we recorded last week about Tile of Destiny. Opening scene, Mads Mikkelsen is chasing Indiana Jones.
Wait, has Rob seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Through through this train for like what feels like an hour and a half, but it's not. But it's just the longest chase scene, almost completely humorless. And then at the very end, he gets hit in the face by, at 100 miles an hour, he gets hit in the face by something, right? And goes flying off the train.
He would have
And
been
he
decapitated,
dead.
dude.
He dead, right? He dead. No, he's not dead. And not only that, he doesn't even have like a scar or a missing eye or a collapsed skull. Like, dude, no fuck. I was blown away by the fact that he was just fine. Like, do you see him get hit?
And it's Mads Mikkelsen. Like, he always plays somebody with a deformity on his face somewhere, right. It's like, what? Yeah, he's fine.
He almost looked younger afterwards.
I was just like, how dare you not have some sort of weird James Bond villain type thing,
or just have him fall off. He doesn't have to get whacked going 80 miles an hour on a train. You know what I mean? Just have him, whoa, okay, then I might believe he came back.
Got fucking nailed. I don't know what that was, like a light post or whatever the fuck it was, but he got hit by something very sturdy while he was doing 100 miles an hour in the face.
But we all knew he was the main villain, and we all knew he'd be in the end of the movie.
I was fine with him living. It was more just, how does he not have some sort of deformity, like a metal cap over half his skull? It's like nothing on that dude.
Man,
when Harrison Ford takes off to run, my knees hurt watching him.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes.
I was like, dude, ooh, man,
why didn't they get the stuntman to do that? Because a couple of the scenes I saw, it was like you could see his back and he was running. I'm like, you totally could have got a stuntman for that.
And I don't know if I mentioned this because I don't know if I considered it a spoiler or not, but one of my biggest issues is that Helena Shaw, no less than 3 times, tries to get Indiana Jones murdered. Yeah. Tells people to murder him, leaves him to be murdered, tells cops to murder him, and then at the end she's like, "I gotta save you," and I'm just like, "What? Why? You literally tried to murder him 3 times."
You said that last week, but I kind of understand. He kind of grew on her, and I think her affection for him.
He was her godfather. Like, you don't try to have your godfather murdered. I mean, if he touched you or something, yeah, that's fine. But like, he didn't do anything to you, and you're like, yeah, sorry, go. She locks him in the room.
I think at the beginning,
his coworkers. Don't make excuses for this.
No, she had no character. I'm okay with it.
It was just like, die. I have to save you. It made no fucking sense, dude. It was poor writing.
That it didn't bother me as much because she felt abandoned by him and didn't really like him. And then once she got to know him again by the end of the movie,
okay. But you know what? My dad left when I was 2. I'm not trying to get him murdered. Like, that's not my first thought. That's my father. Godfather. What does a godfather do? It doesn't mean anything. Like, unless you're in the mafia, a godfather is nothing. That means nothing. Like that. It's not a real thing. Like, it made no fucking sense to me. You don't see your godfather who has done nothing wrong to you, and then you're just like, well, I'm going to leave you here to fucking die. Fuck you, old man. 3 times. 3 times. She does this.
Was it really 3?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, sorry.
She locks him in with the people who just murdered his coworkers. So you have no reason to believe.
I remember that one.
Second time is when she's trying to sell the relic, and she's like, yeah, shoot him. I'm trying to make this money. I got to make this bread. Shoot that old fucking piece of shit. And then the third time, the cops pull him over or whatever. They stop and they're both standing there, and she can speak their language, and I guess he doesn't. And she says something to him, and he's like, and she's like, I told them to kill you. I told them to shoot you. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, 3 times she tries to murder this fucking dude. Like, God damn, like, that's just stupid. It's just dumb that they didn't have to make, like, they literally could have just made it so she outran him or something, and it was a little less indirect.
Well, that would be
leaving him in the face instead of literally saying, murder Harrison Ford, please shoot this man in the face until he dies.
Yeah,
please do that for me.
And at the end, he's like, I just want to stay here. She's like, no, I must
stay. Like, what?
But she really does hate him. It just follows her character. She hates him so much she brought him back.
So, well, now you can't die because you want to, and I want you to die on my terms.
There you
I
go.
want to order your death.
There you go. You know what?
Fucking stupid, man.
Now that Rob's seen it, I can say it. One thing I was like, when they found that tomb, at the end there, was it really that hard to find? Like they have a fucking tour every day going through that motherfucker. And there's a giant light shining on this spot every day at a certain time. Like you're not telling me one of these kids went up there and started climbing rocks. Next thing you know, oh look, it's a fucking tomb. I found that.
Yeah, and it was just light. It's like, dude, come up with a staff, make it, make it a little more interesting.
Right. It's like this light shines here every day. And nobody was like, hey, let's go up to that light. Let's check out.
I gotta agree with Sean. Right. It is lazy writing because like nothing was. It was just like all chase, or
all chase scenes, and too long. The tuk-tuk chase scene, too fucking long, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude, the Antonio Banderas was in it for like 3 seconds. I'm like, what was that? Why even bring him in there? I was like, they didn't explain anything about him, really.
No.
And the next thing you know, he's murdered. I'm like,
right. I did like that for 1 second. Indiana Jones was like, my friend was just murdered, dumb bitch. And like, it was like, yeah. And then I was also thinking, I was like, that's not a moment they would have had in previous movies. Like, they kept them a lot more, they kept them lighter. And that's what this movie was missing. And it was also missing, like, they got Mads Mikkelsen. They barely gave him anything to do. You got Nazis. Like, let's see Nazis get fucked up, man. Let's see some real shit.
Yeah. I thought, like, when they went into that time fissure or whatever at the end, I was expecting something way cooler than what I got.
So he had the wrong coordinates? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, no, I think he says something that...
Yeah, at the end, it was set for that time only.
Right, it only works. Yeah. It only goes one place,
that was fucking lame.
I liked the end when they went back in time. That was the only thing I liked about it. But it took way too long to get there.
And they got to see Archimedes.
And then I love that they just start shooting at the Romans or whatever it was. They start shooting at them.
Hey, there was a when they were at did you see the puppet show?
Yeah.
It was foreshadowing. The soldier and the dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was foreshadowing the end. I read that. Okay. I didn't come up with that myself.
Yeah, I probably wasn't paying much attention. I was probably too focused on that kid's unibrow.
Didn't really that's another thing. That kid, I couldn't understand a fucking word he was saying. I had no idea.
Was that supposed to be short stuff or what? I mean, is that
short round?
Yeah, what's his name?
That was short just round? her little dude, her little short round, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that why they brought him in? Because he was irrelevant.
So yeah, he wasn't like terrible or anything, but
but I mean,
for a kid,
dude, they could have got. I was listening to somebody talk about this. They were like, they could have got to the freaking Dial of Destiny way sooner, and then like revisited some of the greatest moments from the previous movies, or see.
Well, I honestly thought the second. See, that's what. So my thinking when I saw the trailer and I saw the de-aged Indiana Jones, my thinking is that like halfway through, they were going to go back and we were going to get like young Indy for the second half of the movie or something.
Yeah, that's what beginning,
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, that would have been better.
But the action scenes just went on too long. They weren't fun. Like they didn't give me that feeling. The soundtrack was lame, even though it was still John Williams. It just didn't have that feel to it.
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
And I remember
Crystal Skull accomplished it more. Maybe that's because of Spielberg. Maybe it's just because of a different director. The Spielberg was definitely missed. You missed his presence on this. Oh, I watched The Fabelmans.
What's that?
That was solid. That's Steven Spielberg's most recent movie.
Oh, that's the one where the guy owns a theater or something and a kid or something.
No, it's basically it's like an autobiography about Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
It's basically about him as a kid growing up and how he became a filmmaker. It's all the names are different, but it's essentially a dramatization of Steven Spielberg growing up and how he decided to become a filmmaker. It's pretty solid. It's on I think it's on Paramount Plus. or Peacock, one of those.
Oh,
It's a little too long, but overall it's pretty good. It's Spielberg. It's worth a watch. Uh, I think it was up for best movie. I think I'm just like I should be on the Oscar Academy because the stuff they nominate is just some of it's just mind blowingly not good. I'm not saying that about the Fablemans. That's not what I'm saying. But I mean, they did put Avatar up for best picture, so that tells you uh, that they don't. So, going back to Avatar though, I was like rewatching, like I was shifting my perspective again, and I was watching it through the lens of this is the pinnacle of special effects. And if you view it that way, it's a lot more fun. And the second movie is stronger than the first one. And I don't know what changed, but I actually cared about the characters more. The first time, everything that happened, I just didn't care. So I don't know if I just went in with a really cynical attitude the first time. Um, Even though it was a better presentation the first time, it was 3D. It was, they had the high frame rate. The 4K Blu-ray does not have the high frame rate scenes, which is a shame. It still looks absolutely phenomenal. Both movies look phenomenal. If you ever want to show off your shit, those are some movies.
Did you find out the motivation for why they wanted to kill Jake Sully and all his family?
I think it's because Quaritch had a grudge, and no, they don't. There's still ton of plot holes, ton of plot hole issues where it doesn't make any sense for them to just put everything to pursue this dude who's just trying to lay low. I guess he was attacking their supplies. That was the main thing. But once they got rid of him, there was no need to keep pursuing him when he moved on, basically. But he was leading those raids.
Powerful motivator. You could have just had revenge.
But what I mean, no, that's Quaritch's. My thing is how do you get the entire military complex behind you? I just really hate this guy. Can I use all of your shit? Can I use these multi-billion-dollar avatar bodies just to kill this dude? He made me angry once when I was alive. And now I think this is a good use of our budget.
Well, it's like you said, they were attacking their military.
But they stopped. They fled. Sean said, that was it. Okay.
And it's one of those things where, right.
Now you got the whole Navajo Nation up your ass. Whatever the fuck they
are. But yeah, it would have been different. All they had to do was be resurrect Quaritch and his goons and say, we have a mission for you. You're going to go out with these guys and provide security for these whalers. And then Quaritch is instead fuck that. We're going to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
But instead, he's reporting back, being I know where this dude is. And they're cool, we're going to kill this dude.
Yeah. If he went rogue, right, it'd be a little more interesting.
It would have been fine.
Would have made little more sense.
Right. Just have him go. But instead, it was the entire military was yep. And
we are watching a movie about 8-foot cats. So there is that.
Blue cats.
Yeah.
And then watching them kind of back to back, they do look better in the second one. In the first one, when I saw it the first time, I was like, they look just as bad, if not worse. They do look better. And it's funny because when you see Jake Sully in the first one, his avatar body, his waist is about 9 inches in circumference. It's so stupidly small. So they fixed that. I mean, they're tall and they're slender people, but it was stupidly small looking waist in the first movie.
Oh, after the second viewing, did you find out how the Avatar got pregnant?
No, it's just that scene of speculation where Spider's well, maybe, JP banged your fucking mom. They're off working alone doing research. And JP was I like blue cats and got to get it on,
That's what they're definitely hinting at, right?
That's the only theory they said in the movie. To me, it only makes sense. But then JP shows up later and he doesn't give a fuck.
Who's JP? Which one's that?
He's a character from Grandma's Boy.
He was the other Avatar. He was in the first movie a lot more. He was only in the second one real briefly. But he's the lab assistant for Sigourney Weaver's character.
And that's the child of the blue cat.
And then they have the Sigourney Weaver kid in the second one who was born of Sigourney Weaver's avatar, but nobody knows how. So
yeah, I'm so confused. I still don't. But I don't care.
Yeah.
How's
My
that?
whole thing is just watching Sigourney Weaver, like hearing her voice. Like, I don't know why they didn't digitally alter her voice so she doesn't. And I love Sigourney Weaver. But you shouldn't have, a 60-year-old person playing a teenager. It's just fucking weird. And she sounds like an older woman. She doesn't sound like a 14-year-old girl or whatever.
Hey, Spider, go give me a pack of smokes.
Right. Rub my corns. You got those tiny fingers. They really get in there.
They're like, great choice. Great choice,
I mean,
guys.
no, and Sigourney, no, and I do. I love Sigourney Weaver. She does not sound like that. That's clearly Patty and Selma, but still, it's just, and I'm glad they utilized her. But again, I wonder why they didn't do some sort of digital manipulation to kind of make her voice a little higher, or just something to alter it just slightly.
Because they were spending so much money everywhere else, they're like, fuck it, we got to cut costs somewhere.
So yeah, I watched that. All right, let's talk about I'm a Virgo. Boots Riley created this series. He did a movie called Sorry to Bother You, which I can't recommend enough. Please watch it. It's fucking fantastic. I'm not going to tell you about it. Just watch it.
Never talk about that movie. I don't. 30 years from now, you just got to go watch it. Can't talk about
this show.
Just watch it.
This show follows the same kind of vibe of that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very similar message. Very similar message. So basically, and I didn't know what to expect with this show. I follow Boots Riley on social media. He'd been hyping up the show, so I knew it was coming. I don't know if it's getting advertising anywhere else. I only know about it because I follow the dude on Twitter. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known about this show. So the premise is basically it's about a 13-foot tall young black man. I think he's like just turned 18 or something. He's like 18, 19. And living in, I don't know, where is he? Oakland or somewhere
Oakland.
In California.
It takes place in Oakland.
And but it's got, like, Sorry to Bother You. It's very, has a lot of surreal elements mixed with realistic elements.
You can say that.
Obviously, I mean, the 13-foot tall thing should tell you that right there. But so it's kind of an alternate universe. But it's a whole story. I mean, it's an allegory for how Black people and just like marginalized groups are treated by society and specifically by law enforcement, how they're portrayed in media. And then it's got a very strong message about capitalism as well, much like Sorry to Bother You. And it all ties in together in a wonderfully fun way. Get to see a normal sized chick have sex with a 13-foot tall black dude.
Oh boy.
That was something I never thought I'd see.
I got to ask this question. What was she doing with the arm? Like, does anybody know what was happening?
Dude, I thought about it for like 15 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Oh, did you? I didn't go that far.
I think she's just rubbing her cooch against it. That's my guess.
That's the only thing I could come up with at the end of the day.
Well, why couldn't she just rub her cooch against his dick? I mean,
right.
It's probably the same size as his arm.
And I was trying to figure out if maybe, like, I don't know, he had his hand like this, get some digital penetration. And this scene made me think about a sex scene far too much.
She's just hopping from finger to finger.
Yeah.
Right.
If I never watched that, I would have been okay in my life.
Was it?
Wait, I thought you liked quirky stuff, Rob. Oh, you just like.
I was curious to see where they were going to go with that because ever since I was like, how are they going to do that? Yeah, that was something.
See, this is the quirky shit I like. The quirky shit that's quirky because you have a unique mind behind it, not just because somebody's like, I don't have any fucking ideas, so I'll just pick random shit out of a fucking fishbowl like they do on Family Guy.
I thought it was
this is a dude with a vision.
Well, if it was just that sex scene, then I'd say yeah, okay.
No,
he had a lot of
they set it up. Yeah, it wasn't like it just doing it to be doing it.
Right. I mean, it was definitely it was played for comedy.
The story, though, yeah, it was in the
Yeah, but I didn't know where it was going though. Like the beginning, I'm like, what the fuck is this leading to? Like, I have no idea. And then you find out Jones's superpower, and you're like, oh fuck, these are very good, well thought out messages.
they hinted it.
Yeah,
they hinted it. You know, because we saw her like blipping, and I was like, what's her deal?
Wait, Jones was the.
Oh, not Jones. Sorry,
Jones is
chick
the
with
one.
the neck tattoo.
Yeah, that's Jones.
Yeah, different people with different superpowers. You find out. One of my absolute favorite elements, and again, this is quirk with a purpose, not just crazy nuns or whatever. Is the Alexa voice sounds like Bill Cosby?
Oh my god!
I was fucking dying, dude. I was fucking dying.
And there was one scene where, like, does anybody else think that sounds like Bill Cosby?
He asked his assistant. He's like, right. you need to check into my AI. He's like, it's starting to sound like Bill Cosby.
I was fucking dying, dude.
That was the funniest part in the whole show, to be honest with you. It just
probably.
But the guy was like, no, I don't hear it. He's like, I don't hear it. Like, he said everything except pudding pop.
Right.
Like,
oh my god, that was so fucking funny, dude. Like
I like the assassin too. It fucking reminded me of Pink Panther. You know, the movies where he always had somebody coming after him.
Yeah. Walton Goggins plays the hero. Is his name?
Is that the guy from Ant-Man, the villain in Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the first one.
Okay, I didn't know.
Well, no. Wait.
The second one.
He's in Justified. He's in Justified.
He was in one of the Ant-Man movies.
Yeah, he was. He was in the second one. He was.
he wasn't Yellow Jacket. He wasn't like the bad guy.
He wasn't.
Well, he was
like
the
a
bad
real
guy.
person bad guy. He was like the mafia bad guy in the second one.
Yeah. He's been he's been in like The Righteous Gemstones.
He's really good. Yeah.
He's on HBO.
He's good.
He's got a lot of range, but he was great. Finding out his backstory and stuff was actually interesting and cool and fun. I really enjoyed the show. I'm probably going to rewatch it. Not like soon, but it's probably something I'm going to revisit like once a year because I love the ending. Jones gives those. What?
I love how he was making money modeling. He had to sit in those certain poses forever.
Right.
Like one of them, he's just laying down on his stomach, and he's got like half his ass covered by the sheet. It was just hilarious.
I love that. Like he had his neighbor is the one who discovered him, and his neighbor's house was just built like 100 feet in the air on pallets. It's just up there on 4 stacks of pallets. Like, it was so absurdist. I fucking loved it.
Did anybody do that? Do we know why that one side of town got shrunk? Do we have any idea?
No.
Okay.
We don't know who did that.
I was like, am I missing? Did I miss something in one of the episodes? Because
how funny was that?
Sudden, dude, I was cracking up. I was like, what the hell is he doing? It's like a big sheet, you know? And then the whole town is
right.
Like
but the whole neighborhood has been shrunk.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Just the people, not their homes.
Right.
The people.
And the leader's talking to Cootie's girlfriend. And he's like, you know, I could pleasure you too.
Yeah.
He's like, I might have to put my whole body into it or whatever. Because he's only like 6 inches tall or something.
Right.
But then he said, it takes a little trust on my part.
Right.
That's what got me. He's like
But like the show, like it was just fucking weird as fuck. I'm like, there was
it took a while to get going.
And I was expecting that from seeing Sorry to Bother You, but like I was like, where is this show going? And then it starts talking about all these, poignant issues that are going on today.
Well,
and they do it very well.
Yeah, once you realize everybody's got superpowers except for Jones, right? He's got a
car. Jones got a superpower.
What's his
she was able to like envelop you, like
that's
you
Jones.
into her
Who's
reality.
The other guy? Yeah, she's the girl with the monologues. Who's the guy with the car? What's his name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's the one that doesn't have a superpower, right?
Right.
He just got
has
the
a car.
That's his superpower.
Yeah. And then like Scat, was that his name?
Yeah, Scat. Yeah, Scat came back. We see Scat I guess
like a ghost.
He's a ghost, yeah.
But his whole story, like that was I liked all that. Like that, just touching on our healthcare system and how they treat people.
The parents parents, they've been setting this up, and he's like, man, none of this stuff works. He's like, this is something with an iPhone on it. He's like, I made that before iPhones came out. But like none of that shit worked.
Right. And Jones's thing, which again, I can't help but like just call attention to what I've been screaming at you guys. We have the power as the people. We are the labor force. And like that's kind of her whole message is,
you already quit your working, so what the fuck does it matter you?
I just want everybody to take the system down, man. Stop living in the system and create the new system, basically.
Yeah, and we want you to be Jones out there on the street gathering people up.
No, I got out. I'm too selfish. I'm too old.
Yeah,
I got out. Like, I want you guys to get out too.
And do what? You gonna
and be happy
me?
And not be.
I am. No. I'm as happy as I'm gonna get.
You are miserable.
You think
You're in a hot ass garage, chain smoking cigarettes, bro.
You think I'm? You think
that's not a sign of a happy person.
You think I'm unhappy now? Take away some of my money and see how unhappy I am.
There's ways to make money. That's the thing. Like that's you keep
come on.
How do you think Maggie like created a business out of nothing? Anybody can do that.
I keep trying to tell Sean like no one is like as motivated and hardworking. Like, well, I mean, there are a lot of people like Maggie, but a lot of us aren't that. It's
like you are. You go to a job every day and do these tasks. Just apply that energy elsewhere. You're already using your brain and your body. Why not use it more directly for yourself?
Dude, I don't know if you know this, but I put chips on a shelf. I do not use my brain at all, dude. Doing what Maggie is doing makes me want to vomit. That's how much I don't want that much hard work ever.
That makes me sad. I want a writing partner, man. I started writing a movie script for a contest, like a short story script. I'm very excited about it. But anyway, so the whole thing at the end, though, I like that whole explanation about how basically, everybody cracks down on people who sell drugs or find illegal ways to support themselves. And they're like, well, why are they so violent? And then they explain everything is predicated on violence. All business is predicated on violence, meaning that and the best example they gave is like, okay, so you're an illegal drug dealer. Somebody rips you off. So you go in.
You can't go to the police.
Right. You can't go to the police. So you take care of it yourself with violence, right? You go attack those people, shoot those people, whatever. But now there's a weed dispensary, totally legal. They get robbed. They go to the police. So different men with guns show up to deal with you. It's like, that's so true. That's really all it is. It's either people self-policing or not hiring, but like calling for government employed police, basically.
Exactly. No matter what, violence is going to regulate it.
I liked how they explain. Right. I liked how they explain unemployment and inflation, because that's going on right now.
Exactly.
You see,
exactly.
So what happens when there's low unemployment? Oh, guess what? Your interest rates just went up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So who's that affecting borrowing money? The people that don't have the fucking money, right? They have to borrow it in the first place. It doesn't affect some billionaire or millionaire because they don't need to borrow money. Guess who needs to borrow money? So because the motherfuckers raise their goddamn prices and inflation goes up, we suffer because now we can't afford to borrow the money and get what we need to get.
And I like how they pointed out with capitalism thrive, it's got to have unemployment, some form of unemployment, a certain amount for it to thrive.
Yeah, but we're seeing it right now.
That bears out in the fact that the Fed keeps raising interest rates they say in an effort to curb inflation. But guess what? The rich are so rich, they don't care. So when they go to borrow money, they don't care that it's gone up 1%.
Right. It doesn't.
1% is a shit ton to people like us. But to a billionaire, when they go to borrow money, they don't give a shit.
They can still borrow money.
Raising it up. Keep raising it up.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're still doing the same shit. And meanwhile, we're the ones paying the price, basically.
Yeah. And like I would have liked to, watch this and found it, inspiring or whatever, but we've been talking about the same shit on this podcast for the whole time we've been doing it, That's
the thing too, is this is the saddest part of this whole show. This show is financed by Amazon, right? It's on Amazon Prime, one of the worst purveyors of capitalism, right? And Amazon knows full goddamn well nothing will happen. Nobody will be inspired by this show. They're like, this will be entertainment for people. And it's just like it's just everything he's saying. It's just true, you know.
You don't think anybody watching that show would have been enlightened in some way, you know?
I think they would have, yeah,
Have you
for that afternoon
politics?
until they turned on the next show, basically. But yeah, that's some people probably would have got pissed off by it. But again, I don't even see promotions for it, so I feel like Amazon funded it, and then they're just like, yeah, whatever. They have so much money they don't even care what happens to it.
It's because
Prime
you never
Day, Prime Day.
It's like what we've been saying, dude. You're never going to get everybody to agree on something. This is not going to happen. There's always going to be half the people.
Not with that attitude, but you.
Okay, I like I said, get out there in the streets. Start saying.
No, like that's what I've done this. Maggie and I have done this. I just wish other people would open their eyes and realize you don't have to be subservient to a system. People created this system, so people should be able to change the system.
Dude.
And instead, we're just like, well, I voted, so that should solve the problem. I did my voting.
Well,
thing. No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, you can change the system and,
and then look at the
change things for yourself. But if you want to change everything overall, you need people to be together on shit.
Right. And I can't even get you involved. Like I can't reach
how are you going to get
my
us
best
involved?
friend.
What are you going to do? You're going to supplement my income?
Rob,
because I'm a little confused.
Rob, you work for an independent business. So you're fine. Steve works for a corporation that keeps fucking him over every year. They move their business location. Like, I don't understand why like Rob, I totally get your situation. You are taken care of. You work for an independent business owner. You're great. Like I'd be the same way. You have Steve. Your boss actually likes you, trusts you, doesn't treat you like a fucking menial employee.
No, he does not.
So but Steve, I'm just like, dude, how could you?
It's not hard because I make more, and I have paid vacations and all kinds of shit.
You can have more paid vacation. You can make more money if you and your coworkers exerted your power and started a union.
Yeah. And you know why they call me Red Flag Rocco? Because I'm the only one I'm the only one that says shit at work, dude.
Well, you gotta find a way to inspire, man.
Dude, I remember, I was in the office with my boss, and they had just implemented this new plan, and they send in all these HR people to fucking mitigate the damage that could come from everybody being upset or whatever. And I just remember, like, I'm in my office, and one of these guys is in there, and he's like, well, we could have just closed the doors and said you were fired or whatever, or something like that.
You're out of a job too, motherfucker.
I forgot what he said, but I was like, I said something like, thank you, Saint Frito-Lay, or something like that. It was completely insubordinate. And I remember looking at my boss, and his eyes got big. He's like, God damn, he just said that, And then I just started arguing with him, and it was just, dude, it does.
That's a start, man.
I know.
They want to keep you guys living in fear. Fuck that shit. I don't know that if I could work a normal job. I've told Maggie, I was like, I don't think I'm employable anymore because I have such an attitude, and I see all the ways I've been mistreated in the past. And I feel like if I go in for an interview, I wouldn't get past the interview stage because they start asking me questions. I'm going to be like, well, how much does this job pay? Is that it? That's what you're paying for? How much do you make? Like I can't bow anymore. I just can't. I'd rather fucking work 60 hours a week for myself somewhere than work 40 hours for some asshole that takes, 90% of my fucking profits basically that I'm creating.
Well, that's the thing. Like they set the plan, they set the plan for us to make. And when we don't make it, it goes against us. It hurts us, like, so they can set the plan higher than what we can make. They're still doing better than they were last year. And we're the ones taking the hit,
Right. I saw that. I used to get in arguments when I worked at Home Depot. They set the matrix there's a matrix, right? There's a multiplier, whatever, for hours allotted, right? And I'll be like, well, that ain't enough to do what you want us to do. We're like,
Right.
well, yeah, but I was like, but that's determined by, I said, what's determined by? I was like, I know how many hours I need on the floor. I was like, I see it. I know when, whatever. And they're like, well, there's a multiplier. I was like, yeah. And who sets that multiplier? Right. And I was like, it's bullshit. And I used to get in arguments all the time. But it's like, and same with plan. They raise the plan every year. It's like, who's raising the fucking plan? The fucking bigwigs raise the plan, And it's
and they
like,
purposely said it. Well, you may not realize when you're in it. They said it in a way so that you are always on that line where you're like, well, I got to do this, and they're basically keeping you in that state, that unbalanced state where you're just like, well, we got to get this done. And they're like, look, they're getting it done. So let's raise the bar a little higher. Right. See what they can do now.
So there was a pandemic, right? 2 years ago, right? Do you think any corporations lowered their plan like for that year in the middle of the pandemic? Fuck no. It still goes up. It's like, well, but it's just like, it's impossible.
And dude, and a lot of people, they go out there and crush it, like say their plan was low one period or whatever.
Well, then next year they'll kill you on the plan. Right.
No, it's not even next year. It's based on it's a 12-week rolling average.
Holy shit, y'all got a 12-week different plan?
Dude, you crush it and you're like, you're like, look at this paycheck. A couple weeks later, you're fucked,
that's a new
man.
thing. That's a new thing. Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. And like,
the game is always rigged against you. You cannot win it. So we need to change the game, basically. That's what it comes down to. So I read today, I was reading about, so you got the writers' strike in Hollywood. Rob touched on the actors are about to go on strike too.
Possibly.
Potentially. But some stuff leaked, and now like some anonymous sources inside, like, Warner and Disney and all these kind of companies came out and they said, look, we're just going to stall these people out. We figure till October, they'll run out of money. And then it was like, we're not going to come to the table to negotiate anytime until they're desperate, basically, till they feel like that these people are going to be, behind on their mortgage payments and shit.
Right. Because they got the money to sit on it.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of
people have the money. They're fine. They have billions of dollars. So they can wait it out. And meanwhile, it's so arrogant though. Like, you make all that money because of the sweat and toil and skill of your writers and your actors and all the other underlings, the lower people, however the fuck they view them. You literally, as an executive, you do nothing. You contribute nothing to that process. All you're doing is looking at numbers. But you have all these creative people that you just take for granted, and you're like, we'll starve them to death before we'll negotiate. And it's like, that's so mind-boggling, mind-blowing to me. And some representative came out and was like, no, nobody said that. That doesn't represent our point of view. And I'm like, I bet it does. I bet it does. That seems exactly like what
that
you guys
ain't documented anywhere in an email, but I'm sure it was said.
Right. But that's mind blowing that they would look down on the people who actually make the money. And to me though, it does show a level of fear from these executives that they're like that. They're, it's like a scorched earth policy almost. But like, here's the thing: writers can find other ways to make money. They can do other things, but I think that's what they just want to dissolve the union. Basically, is what it really comes down to.
There's plenty of fast food openings. Jesus Christ!
But my point is, they just feel like they hold all the cards, and in a sense, they do. Until everybody decides, like, no, we're not. Nobody's going to write for you, whether they're in a union or not. But they clearly just want to dissolve the union. And so they don't have to do these negotiations and pay people a wage that they actually deserve. So they can keep making all the money.
The writers weren't even asking for that much. That's the crazy part.
They're not.
Dude, they're not even asking for that much.
The biggest issue is don't fuck us with AI. That seems to, and that's going to be the issue for the actors too.
I think they want some streaming residuals, which I think they deserve as well.
Yeah.
They absolutely deserve it. If you're making that money, I mean, this goes back to, comic books too. Jack Kirby, Bob Kane, just, all these creators working for hire for these comic book companies created these characters that some have been around for 80 years now. That these companies have been making billions of dollars on these characters. And if you made that, if you created Batman, you got like nothing. You just got paid for, you know what I mean? And Batman has made them billions. And then these corporations are just like, well, yeah, it's ours. You don't deserve it. It's like, the fuck they don't, like you wouldn't have Batman without that person. You know what I mean? Like, Batman doesn't get created by anybody. It got created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. You know what I mean? Like, without those people, without, who are the guys who created Superman? Schuster.
Joel Siegel
and Jerry Schuster, I think, or Schuster. But same thing. Like, they got fucked over for years and years and years. Created Superman, one of the most recognizable characters in the last 80 years around the globe. And they were just like, no, ours.
Dude, it's just it's business, man. They don't give a fuck, dude.
No.
They pretend to, they don't give a rat's ass about you,
Right.
They just want to maximize profits. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Dude.
But what's weird to me is when they get to that point where they're so high up, they can't even see where their profits are truly coming from. They're not coming from your decisions up high. They're coming because somebody
on the ground
showed up and fucking and wrote something. Somebody wrote Ninja Turtles and then somebody else bought it. Like somebody like that had nothing to do with you as an executive, other than you had the money to buy somebody off, basically.
Yeah, it's just like at my job. Like, you ain't getting shit if I'm not putting them chips out there in the market.
Exactly.
If you that's why I'm just waiting. I'm like, when are they just going to get drones like that? They're
working on it. I know they're working on it,
or some kind of Amazon delivery or something. Like, they're trying to get rid.
They
of
are absolutely working on it. I guarantee it, man.
I mean, they probably would have done it already if we didn't have just a giant amount of product.
Right.
Like, we pretty much supply every type of chip you could imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes a lot of work to put all that shit up. But yeah, man, I don't know why people they just don't see through the bullshit, man. Like, all these, like the stupid shit that corporations do all the time to save face. It's like they don't give a fuck, It's like the fucking end racism, all that shit. They don't give a fuck, dude. They just hopefully they can, just pass enough time where people forget about it. And then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I firmly believe that if it was more popular to be pro-racist, that like Bud Light and all these other corporations would be like, we're racist as hell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't care. They don't have a soul.
Exactly.
They don't have a point of view other than
they just follow
what they're
the money.
Going to sell.
Wherever the money leads.
Sell.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. They don't give a fucking shit. And it's just, I mean, I'm not, as I get older, dude, I'm almost like, I don't give a fuck either. I'm done. Like, why do I care? Why do I have I hold myself to some higher morals that I really fucking don't care about, Like, I just want to go to work, get paid, come home, drink a beer, talk to my friends.
I don't want to go to work at all. I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, I gotta make money. So,
but we have this. But again, there's ways to make money.
Yeah, but not as much as I'm making.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
All right. Well, why don't you set me up? You know somebody? Get me some.
Help him ghostwrite his book.
Okay. What does that pay? Do you offer benefits?
You can hire Maggie as a business coach.
Okay.
That sounds like it's going to cost you money, Steve. I don't know.
Cost you money. It hurts. But you got to start somewhere.
Okay. So, well, that doesn't interest me. I want to do something. I don't know what I want to do. That's my problem. I have no idea what I even.
What are you going to do when you grow up?
I mean, let's be honest, man. I just sit there and fucking listen to podcasts all day. It's a pretty cool job.
Okay. My mind goes places when I'm like, my last job was pretty mindless, and I just like,
dude, I used to work with
suicidal thoughts creep in, man.
I used to dig holes. Like, that shit fucking sucked, dude. Used to be in a hot ass attic. Now, dude, it's not. This is the easiest job.
Now you're in a hot ass truck.
only for a second. I'm in the air conditioned stores for most of the time.
All right. So what else do we have on the
Secret Invasion? Did you guys watch Secret Invasion?
I did not.
I forgot it was even on today. I did not watch it today. Completely
Okay.
forgot.
Can I spoil something?
No.
No. I'm gonna watch it as soon as we're done. I just forgot about it. I've been watching, dude. So we watched. Steve and I saw Mission Impossible. He did not invite his brother because he does not like him.
Dude,
But
I got off work early. There's no way Rob was done.
what I'm saying is, why wouldn't you just wait for a day where he could go?
Because
Be
I'm
like,
on the
hey.
way home. I checked the time. It was playing, so I stopped off, dude.
I could have went tonight instead of doing this stupid fucking podcast.
You could have canceled. Could have canceled the podcast.
No, I
But-
would have went with you.
Oh, I'm going to see it again. So if you want to go, let me know.
No, I don't want to go with you now. You don't want me to go with you?
Dude, stop. Just stop.
I'd be salty. I would be. I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? You couldn't wait a day. You couldn't wait 2 days.
Dude, my family was salty too. My daughter, who doesn't ever want to go to the movies with me, was like, "You didn't ask me to go?" I was like, "Every time I ask you guys to go do something, you don't want to do it." I'm like, "Fuck off."
I made Mason go. I was just like, hey, I got tickets for this movie. We're gonna go. I got to tell you this. So I really have been working on my attitude. Like I'm trying to be more positive, see things, through a different lens.
It's not working.
What's the phrase? What's the phrase I always use? Expand my capacity for joy. I'm trying to expand my capacity for joy.
You should be happy as fuck.
Rob doesn't like it. He's always trying to bring me down. He doesn't like this new Sean.
You need to do more drugs.
I really haven't. That's not. I want it to be something where I'm not in an altered state, where I'm in a normal state, and I adjust my perspective, my point of view on things. And stop being so cynical, basically.
You want to grow as a human being.
And I've given you guys examples of that. You're discounting it, but like the fact that I could go watch Avatar and enjoy it after ripping it to shreds.
Yeah, no.
I'm showing some growth here.
I'm only discounting it because I'm dependent on alcohol. So that's the only reason I'm.
But anyway, in an effort to expand my capacity for joy, I completely derailed. I forgot my train of thought now. What was I saying?
Sorry, man.
That's part of expanding your capacity for joy is dementia. That's actually very helpful.
You're talking about you forced Mason to Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay. So, all right. I bought tickets for a different showtime initially, and then I was like, oh, there's an earlier show. I'll move them up. So I canceled my tickets to the earlier show. It was like 2:45 when I bought these tickets same day as I went. So earlier in the day, I bought 2 tickets for the 2:45. Nobody else had bought tickets yet, right? And I'm like, oh, we might get a private showing. And then I look later, and only 2 other people have bought tickets.
Right next to you.
Guess where one of them bought ticket.
Right next to you.
They did leave a buffer seat, but still, why you have 75 seats to choose from, and you buy a ticket 1 seat over for me.
I know the answer to this.
What's the best row? You got that. You picked that row for a reason.
You always pick the best row.
I
would pick the best row too.
The row behind me was actually better, but if she had sat behind me, it would have been fine. But it was like this little older Asian lady. But she was to the left. To the left is bad. That's why I don't understand it. You want to be in the center. If she had picked the row behind me, she would have had a much better seat. The theater we were in, the row I picked was like a little bit lower than it should have been. We weren't like middle of the screen. We were just slightly lower. So if I'd have gone a row back, we would actually had a better. It would have been a better view, basically. But anyway,
I was that guy when I went. I gave a buffer seat, but I was that guy. I was because it was the fucking middle. And guess what? The middle is not the best seat in an IMAX theater. You want to be 3/4 of the way up. Middle is not good. I was like careening my neck through most of the movie. I was
that's the thing. Your eye level wants to be around the middle of the screen is basically where you want to be.
Yeah. In IMAX, you got to go up a little bit higher.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was like her and one other dude, and they got both of them were like older, and they each got up twice during the movie to piss. And I was laughing. I was like, God damn, if my bladder gets that bad, I'm not going to the movies anymore. Like I can't get up twice to piss in a movie. I don't even if I have to go once, I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it. I'm not missing any of this movie.
I had a bunch of old people too. I mean, like, what the fuck, man? And one of the guys was just talking at normal volumes, I think
That was like when we saw Asteroid City. It was just all old people. It's like me and Maggie, that everybody else was 2 decades older than
Did
us.
you see Asteroid City?
And they wouldn't shut. It's on my Vudu if you want to watch it.
It's already out. I saw it at the movie theater. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, we saw it, and Maggie, Maggie loves Wes Anderson, and it was all old people. And it wasn't a lot of people, but goddamn, they are fucking loud as fuck.
Dude,
They're the worst movie theater
I think
audience.
the guy thought he was being quiet, and he was just he can't hear, so he's just talking. But he only did it in the beginning, like real quick. So I was like, thank God, dude. But yeah, it was a bunch of old people and me.
Because you went at 2:00,
right?
Yeah,
Tuesday is typically discount day, so that's not too surprising.
You can get.
So yeah,
Did you
I'm
use
not
your
mad at
Malco
people
discount?
buying tickets to my show, but I don't understand why you would pick my row when the entire theater is vacant. That's what I don't get. Is if there are literally 70 other seats to choose from, why would you sit one seat over from me?
Now they were the middle was all filled up, but I did give a buffer seat. I mean, like I'm not that. Well, I'm not gonna sit right.
But again, this showing I went to literally had 4 people in it, and me and Mason were 2 of them.
Yeah.
So if you went to one and there was like more people, that's what, like when I saw Indiana Jones, we got tickets last minute, so I had to I couldn't get my usual seat. So but I left a buffer seat, of course. But that's different when you have less options. When you have 2 seats sold in a theater that seats 70 or 80 people, why would you buy that ticket?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you buy the one behind me? I just don't get it.
My theater wasn't filled, but there was a lot more than just you two.
It wasn't just 4 people. It was literally 4 people.
You know, the seat they gave me was like off to the side. It was like there's like a section of the theater where it's just like 2-seaters.
Yeah.
And because I bought a single ticket, I guess they put me over there. I'm like, oh, fuck no. I'm not sitting all the way to the fucking side of the theater. It's not happening. Please tell me you got the Tom Cruise introduction with, hey, you're doing a great service. You're doing good.
Like getting thanked for going to the movies.
Exactly.
Tom Cruise and Christopher.
He did another Top Gun.
He did another Top Gun thing. Yeah. He's like, these movies were meant to be on the big screen. Thank you for your patronage or something like that, you know?
Oh, so yeah. Brief review, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Absolutely enjoyable movie. You should go see it if you like the other ones. It's probably in my top 4 Mission Impossible movies. So it's good shit. I got to rewatch them to really put a list together. But dude, it's Mission Impossible. It's good shit. There was one chase scene that was like a little too long.
Oh, dude, that was a very good chase scene. That was very creative
with the Fiat.
Yeah,
the Fiat chase.
I thought of you during that, but they did a lot of stuff that was very creative, and there was a good part that was very funny too in that.
So they did lean a little hard into the humor there, which was I actually found a little annoying. But I am nitpicking. It is a absolutely enjoyable movie. You should go check it. I mean, it's at least an 8 out of 10. It's a solid 8 out of 10. I'm very excited to see the sequel.
I am so.
I love the whole ending, like all the stuff at the end. I like the climax of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue with it. It was nice to see Palm Clementieff as somebody other than an insect
mantis.
So,
you know what I found very surprising? That the scene we all see in the trailer where he goes and takes the bike
was at the end, not the beginning.
No, it was that was the least impressive thing to me. And with the rest of the movie, there are other things in the movie that I thought were very cool and I would have never thought of it. It was brilliant.
Yes, it's a fun movie.
It's
a
dude,
fun movie. It's
Rob,
well
you're
done.
gonna love it, dude. I mean, this next movie is gonna be off the fucking chain. It's gonna be so good. When does that come out?
Next year.
So, do you agree that Tom Cruise is saving the movie industry yet, or what?
No,
dude.
I believe Tom Cruise.
He told you he was saving
it. Right, I agree with Rob.
We got a message. He told us.
He told us thank you. No, I think Avatar 2 made more money, so I think the movie business has been saved multiple times.
How is this one doing? Is it doing all right?
I have no idea. It opened today, technically.
Yeah,
I know we saw it yesterday.
I could have saw it on Monday, but I couldn't get done in time.
We won't really have a good view of it until after the weekend numbers. That's where you really determine. But I think it'll do fine. I wish. Oh, Rob, wait. What? How long are you up here next week?
A week, Tuesday
So,
through
do you want to go
Saturday.
see like Oppenheimer or Barbie or both?
No,
God damn it!
You don't want to see Oppenheimer, dude?
nah. I'll wait
Oh
for
my
it on
God.
video. Because
God
I
damn
won't
it.
be able to hear anything. Because goddamn score will be louder than the fucking.
I was gonna say we can go see it in IMAX. Oh.
Rob's like, why didn't you invite me to a movie? Then Sean invites him to a movie. He's like, no. I'm like, not going.
What about Barbie? Let's go see Barbie.
Come
Like,
on,
I
Barbie.
genuinely want to see
Let's go
Barbie.
party.
I do. I think the
Two
the set
middle-aged
design.
guys going to Barbie.
I don't care. I don't give
I
a
don't
fuck.
care either. I don't give
like,
shit. I'm old.
No, I think
so.
I have no interest in the toy line or anything, but I love how all in they are on the whole Barbie aesthetic. You know, and it's very 80s. That's the only Barbie I know is like when my sister and her friends had Barbie stuff. And it seems to be, unless that's what Barbie's still like, I don't actually know.
I have
but,
no idea what that movie's about. I know it has Ryan Gosling and
I don't think
Margot
the
Robbie.
trailers themselves, the dialogue is very lame for the most part. But again, to me, I'm again shifting my perspective. It's like, okay, they've created this whole world. It might be fun to go, you know, as a cinematic experience. It might be fun to experience that.
Who are you, dude? Who are
Come
you?
on,
What
Barbie.
is
Let's
happening? Like,
let's go party.
I'm not, Rob, you shut your mouth. Stop.
Wait, what did Rob say? I didn't hear what Rob said.
I said, "Come on, Barbie, let's go party."
He's trying to
Steve's favorite line for the Flash.
He's trying to reinitiate trauma. Fuck you, man. I'm just saying, I wouldn't go see this at the theater if it wasn't for my daughter. Like, I'm not going to see this in the fucking theater.
No, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the
It looks fun, but I'm like
cinematic aspect of it. I don't.
Sean
I
is
don't know. I have no
expanding
idea.
his mind.
I spent
I'm
spent $30 to see an IMAX movie, and I got a large pop. that was $30. I'm like,
Dude,
if it wasn't for you, Tom Cruise, I wouldn't have gone to IMAX. But because I knew I was going to get a little introduction from you, that was worth it.
Get the kids meal. I've gotten the kids meal the last 4 times.
Dude, I'm thinking about it.
It's the perfect size pop, so you don't have to piss during these long ass movies. It's the perfect amount of popcorn that doesn't make you sick, and you get fruit snacks.
It would have been a little bit cheaper, but she's like, "Do you want this Dead Reckoning special cup?" And I'm like, "You're fucking damn right. I want the Dead Reckoning special cup."
If you look on the bottom, there's a picture of Tom Cruise, and he says, "Thank you."
He's like, "Thank you."
I'll tell you the best thing is, I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. Let's see. Let me see. It's right there in the corner. Can you see the Civil War? You see this next to the fire extinguisher to the right. Can you see the Civil War bucket, popcorn bucket?
Oh, nice. I see it.
Now that I splurge for.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I like those.
Nice. Hey, what do you guys think of Guy Gardner? Nathan Fillion's going to be Guy Gardner, and
I saw that the other day before you texted
dude,
it.
the fact that he's going to be play a Green Lantern. I mean, I think he's voiced Green Lantern, but to see him like physically play a Green Lantern, Guy Gardner's an interesting choice just because I feel like Guy Gardner's main feature is that he's a fucking redhead.
Well, he's the dick one. He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, it'll totally fit Nathan Fillion's character for sure. I was just surprised. I was like, we're getting a Green Lantern in a Superman movie? I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Nathan Fillion's been in DC with he voiced he's voiced some movies too. But in Justice League, he Unlimited, he voiced the Vigilante.
Hang on, my dog's in the litter box. Get out of there.
The cowboy that rides a motorcycle.
Yeah, who's that?
Sorry.
Vigilante.
Get out of there.
Yeah, I think his character is going to fit perfectly with this Green Lantern.
Get out of there.
So, you think they're going to have other Green Lanterns, or is it just going to be Guy Gardner?
I think eventually, I think they're going to do a Green Lantern, a proper Green Lantern Corps movie. Like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah. No, I'm saying in the Superman Legacy movie. Do you think they'll have?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah.
We don't need all that. Oh, and they announced Anthony Carrigan is playing Metamorpho in the Superman Legacy movie.
Holy
Metamorpho,
shit.
that's cool.
I actually have a Metamorpho. I have like 4 comics I just found when I was going through a comic book store.
But I love Anthony Carrigan.
Who's he? I don't recognize that name.
Did you watch Barry?
Yes.
I can't remember if you watched Barry. So do you remember NoHo Hank?
Oh, that's NoHo Hank?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Metamorpho too.
Sean's
Oh
like,
wow, that's pretty good because he's bald. So
Sean's like, did you watch Barry? Like we discussed it for like 8 weeks
Yeah.
straight.
I don't remember. I have no short-term memory.
yeah.
I have
That's
no
long-term.
short-term
Oh,
memory.
shout out to who's the guy that plays Barry? He got nominated for Emmy.
Oh, nice. I hope he wins.
Yeah, me
I don't know
too.
who he's up against, but he fucking deserves it.
So did Henry Winkler. Yeah, they
Nice.
both did. It was nice to see that.
So did Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Did it really get nominated?
3 times. Three Emmy nominations.
You talk about Miss Maisel?
No, Miss Marvel. The one with the kid.
No.
Yes. Dude,
that's Miss Maisel. I think you
No.
read that wrong.
Dude, I'm on Instagram. I'm scrolling on the Marvel web.
For what? It had to be like special
On the
effects.
Marvel website, 3 Emmy nominations, dude. That's what it said.
Hang on.
It had to have been like
It's
special
pretty
effects.
lightweight ones. I'll give here's what they are. Outstanding picture editing for a limited series.
There you go.
That's one.
Outstanding original main title theme music and
There you
outstanding
go.
music composition for a limited series.
There you go. So I didn't even read that shit.
There you go. 3.
I just
3
looked at
Emmy
the big
nominations.
headlines.
It's gonna take.
I thought you read that wrong. Was thinking Miss Maisel
No,
because I've done that before. I'd be like, I read something like, "Who the fuck?"
Well, Miss Maisel's not even on currently. It's been done for a while.
But it got Emmy nominated. She got nominated
years ago.
No, she got nominated this last nomination today.
Didn't the last season just come out pretty recently?
Dude, I thought it was like 2 years ago.
No, this summer was the last season.
I might be down on my Miss Maisel. Shit. I didn't know that. Last time I saw she was in like the USO tour the last time.
Oh my God, there's like 2 seasons after that.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it then.
You moron.
Well, I did not follow that.
You get through Shrinking yet? Have you got to like episode 3 or 4 with Harrison Ford?
Nobody's watching that. Dude.
I read that they were disappointed. I read an article about how they were disappointed Harrison Ford didn't get nominated for supporting. Because he's that good. He's fucking fantastic in this.
You know what I watched instead of that? Cliffhanger.
Miss Marvel.
I watched Cliffhanger this weekend too.
Cliffhanger's the shit, man.
Did anybody watch Fubar?
I tried to. It wasn't landing.
It's fun though.
I wanted to like
Schwarzenegger. Did you watch the documentary on Schwarzenegger?
No, not yet. I do want to watch that.
It was interesting.
Is anything in Fubar as memorable as that lady dying in Cliffhanger?
No. Cliffhanger was better.
I watched E.T. again for like probably the second time. Maybe it's the third time I've watched it in my life. Man, that movie, everybody should just go watch E.T., man. The whole world will come together, and then put like a anti-capitalist message at the end or something. But that movie just took me back to an era.
What year did that come out?
82, 81, I think 82. And man, rewatch that. It's on my Vudu. Everybody should just watch that movie. So good. The everything about it, the score, the performances, down to the set design and everything. It just takes you back, man. It gives you all the feels, and I've been chasing that high ever since that's why I think I watched Transformers.
Huh? That's what I was going to say, Rob.
Fablemans. I watched Fablemans, and then I watched E.T., and it was because of Indiana. It started with Indiana Jones, I think, with Dial of Destiny coming out, and then rewatching all the Indiana Jones movies that he did.
Did you watch? Did you ever like Close Encounters?
I have never seen that one. I gotta watch that. I've never seen it.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Me too, Rob.
Really, man, I remember seeing that when I was a kid.
I bought it.
Steve owns 3 copies on his Vudu account, by the way. I'm not joking. He owns 3 different cuts of the movie, and you've never watched it.
No.
He owns like an extended cut, a director's cut, and a theatrical cut. I saw it on his Vudu.
They all came with one purchase. Not like I went out 3 times. I just got bonus.
He has 3 versions of this movie he has never seen.
I was like,
that's stunning.
I should have watched this, so I bought it.
I hear nothing but bad. Like, nobody talks about that movie fondly.
Well,
everybody says the ending is very disappointing. The aliens play a song or whatever.
The train and the mailbox is shaking and stuff. Isn't that?
No, it's wah wah wah, where you hear the organ and they're talking to the. That's the third kind.
I do want to watch it, but I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it.
I went to the theaters to see so, it's
Yeah.
a little different. Like that shit was cool. That sci-fi shit for me was
Oh,
really
yeah.
neat. Plus, I saw, late when I was young too, I saw, what the fuck is the Stanley Kubrick? Oh, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
So, I thought all that shit. I was fascinated with space too. I grew up during, the space shuttle and shit like that. So, like kids today, like my son, like when they were launching rockets and shit, and I was like, dude, you got to see this when it first, the reusable rocket. I was like, dude, check this out. This is cool shit. And my son Aiden's like,
they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Shit. They don't give a shit.
I remember trying to watch 2001. And I was like, that was all right. But
yeah,
I watched it.
I didn't watch it when you watched it.
The effects for the time are amazing. Like
it's
when
very
you consider
slow.
When it's 1968 and the effects they pull off look amazing. It's mostly models and stuff, but they pull off some really crazy scenes, like when these like walking around the room that's like rotating.
That's all I remember in the very end. I was like, this got weird. I don't know what's going on.
The one area Stanley Kubrick is very weak, and he's an amazing filmmaker. Like he's really good with, again, set design, setting up shots, creative shots, very intricate details.
The ending is black.
His storytelling is not that great. His storytelling is what's lacking. But other facets of what he does is really interesting. Again, when you view it through the lens of history, it's like, whoa.
You ever see One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
I saw it a long time ago, but I don't really.
What about Clockwork Orange?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I watched it.
that's a very memorable movie.
What's the military? What's the military one?
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
the bomb.
No, Sean said it.
What?
Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched all those. I just don't remember
them. I remember Full Metal Jacket is like two different movies put together. I really like the first half, and the second half is very believable, but it's very boring. But that's where that whole "me love you long time" that comes from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, I remember that. So wait, 2001: A Space Odyssey. What was the plot? What?
There isn't one.
Oh. How?
It's just set. It's just the overarching plot, I would say, is about this monolith and how it
that's the
affects the evolution of the human race. Like you start off with the gorillas or chimpanzees or whatever prehistoric. And then the monolith shows up and they evolve, and then
that's right. That's right.
That's one of those cinematic experience type movies. That is not a movie you go to for its storyline. That's not what it's. The last part, it does have a story, like with the AI taking over.
Well, yeah, how it's like you said though. At that was time,
69 too when that came out. I think so. It's
68. I think
68. Yeah, that was the AI thing was very advanced. Now we're fucking talking about this shit. Hell, now we're on strike in movies because of AI. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
that theme was pretty advanced back then, though.
Yeah.
But when I watched it when I'm 30, I'm like, eh.
It's worth watching again and again on the big screen you have in like 4K. The 4K version of it looks better than some of the modern movies that have come out. It looks so good that the people in the gorilla suits look terrible because
they look like gorilla suits.
You're right.
You know, I mean, it's like,
but when you get to space, though, the space special effects look amazing.
Yeah, he was way ahead. Well, that's what influenced George, right? Was that?
Yeah, that was definitely a big impact with the effects in that movie.
I think I'm going to watch Stallone bench press some guy into a stalactite again instead.
That's where I am. As I get older, I'm like, I just want to be entertained. I don't want to think. I want to be but I want the story to be good too. I don't want it to only be effects.
And then he just had us watch 7 episodes of I Am Virgo.
All right, so maybe certain things that line up with my own personal philosophies are worth a view, but also that's not a sentimental show either. I don't really like things when they're sentimental, and that one isn't for the most part.
No, that was good. It was
good. It was okay.
That's weird. I thought a lot of the things
points
they touched on were awesome,
and the delivery was very well thought out in a way that makes sense, and it gets stuff. there's some stuff in there that I've been screaming for years, but then there's other stuff in there that I was like, wow, I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, the whole thing with the police
that's more upsetting.
Was eye-opening. That was like, whoa.
And I am Virgo. What was Cootie's rash supposed to represent?
I don't know. I feel like that's trying to set up a season 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I think it has something to do with the clothing maker and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really thought about it.
The corporate clothing that he was wearing and
yeah.
Well, there is no hero anymore. He just gave up. He's like, I've seen the light.
Oh, let's talk about that cult that was following. How fucked up was that? Oh, like, whoa!
I kind of suspected there was something off there, so that was a nice.
Yeah, but still, I was like, oh, that's really fucked up. They wanted his eyeball.
Yeah,
dude,
that was very fucked up.
I ain't gonna lie. I wanted him to lose an eye in that scene. I was
wondering.
I did not. I did not
take
his eye. This would be so
he
fucked up.
Such a sympathetic character and so well played that I don't want to see anything bad happen to him.
Dude, the Iron Maiden with one eye hole. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like sticky note number 127.
Well, I thought they were going to do it because he had been talking about becoming the villain, and I was like, oh, is this the thing? Like he's going to go full villain after this.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like too, though, is like it's got all that superhero stuff to it, and they kind of flip that on its head, and they're like, well, it's not about they do the whole thing where they do the big heroic act, and then 5 minutes later they just turn the generators back on or whatever, and
you didn't say they could get another, yeah,
like it's like they got to do it Jones's way. They got to dismantle the system. Just doing this here and there isn't going to take down, the true villain. Right. And then she brought the hero to the light, as far as for now, anyway, to some degree.
Well, she was the hero of the story, Jones, right? I mean,
no. I mean, I just meant like the actual hero. She brought him. She was able to make him see how he was contributing to the very problem that he was claiming to solve, which, kind of a stand-in for Batman or any other superhero, basically. But a lot of good, deep stuff thematically going on.
You know what?
Really, really liked it.
I mean, Jones's power, I mean, that's an awesome power. I just wish I wish more people would do what Jones was doing.
Yeah.
But the people that, the people with those ideas, they don't ever really run for, office or anything.
Well, they do, but they get silenced by people in the system. Look at Bernie Sanders. The Democratic Party, they didn't want him as the nominee. They don't want an anti-corporate nominee.
You think there'd be more people like that, though?
You would think. You would think. Oh, but I read something the other day. Most people are stupid. So it turns out they don't know what's good for them. They will actively vote against themselves as long as you say something that appeals to their fear.
That is
true. As long
true.
as you're out there making them afraid of transgender people or whatever the hell, as long as you're keeping them diverted from the actual reason that they have no fucking money, then...
Dude, what the fuck, man? I mean, I don't understand women. Dude, if I was a woman, I'd be fucking... Dude, I mean, they're taking away. I'm just fucking crazy.
I don't know where Rob's going with
I was going to say...
they just
I was going to say ugly.
No.
No. Like, if you were a woman,
I'm talking about the abortion thing. Like Iowa just passed a 6-week abortion thing. It's just crazy, man. I mean...
Yeah.
God damn. And Republicans are the ones that don't want to interfere in your life.
Right. Republicans want... But that's the thing. People confuse... They don't realize that they are afraid. When you have people that they're just talking about owning guns and gun ownership and controlling what other people do, that's all fear-based thinking. That's all it is. They don't like people doing things that differs from what they want them to do. They don't like the idea of not having a gun because they're terrified to not have a gun, because they might any minute now they're going to have to kill somebody. They're pretty sure. But it's all fear-based thinking. But they're told by Donald Trump, who is one of the most fearful people I've ever seen in my fucking life, that
how do you not see the correlation with this dude? I just don't understand.
When you were talking about women, like, are you saying like a lot of them are going a certain way.
Any of them are voting against their own interests, basically. Yeah. Anybody who goes Republican is voting against women's rights.
Yeah, but I think, being in the South, dude, I see a lot of women that like that, like they want to be subservient.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
That.
I don't understand.
Like they think that's like their role,
Oh, you talking about bringing religion into this?
Oh, yes, most definitely. But that's a lot. In the South, a religion is part of a lot of women's lives.
I don't know.
It does factor into their identity.
But men are the same way. Like they feel like they have to provide a certain role,
Right.
So,
all right. So let's get to wrapping this up. I have what do I have? I have a comic book picked out. It is on the Marvel Unlimited app.
Hey, I didn't get rid of it.
It is called. It's 4 issues. It's just called Marvels.
Oh,
preparing us for the
movie.
What movie? Oh no. This has nothing to do with that. This is something different.
Sean's like, why would it tie into pop culture?
It's not going to tie into a movie I have zero interest in.
I thought you were broadening your mind.
How sad is it that Marvel movies have gone down in quality so much that I would rather pay money for a Transformers movie?
That's pretty sad.
Than watch Ant-Man.
And you forgot about Secret Invasion to watch it. Instead, bought the Transformers movie.
Right. I was more excited to have that cinematic experience at home. Do not watch Transformers Rise. Go ahead and watch. I don't give a shit. But you've had fair warning.
I am looking forward to Ahsoka. Does that not?
I saw the Ahsoka trailer. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you sent it to us. That's why I knew. That's why.
Well, Steve did. Steve
sent it. Okay.
There's been a lot of trailers. New Blue Beetle trailer dropped. It's okay. I'm gonna go see that.
I'm gonna go see it.
I will leave the house for that. I watched the Willy Wonka trailer. I don't know why. That's a weird IP to try to make it happen. I don't know.
I watched that one with no sound. It's like Willy Wonka the prequel. It's like him as a young kid.
Dude, all I think about is Gene Wilder. That's Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
not to say that Johnny Depp, like a lot of kids, younger kids, like the Johnny Depp, Wonka or whatever the hell it was called.
But to me, Wilder defined Willy Wonka.
I grew up with Gene Wilder. I don't think he was so sadistic, man. It's just it's so great.
He was a child murderer. And parents would then show you that movie and be like, "Look what happens."
Dude, we even watched that at Seventh-day Adventist school. They're like, this is okay to and I never even thought about it until Sean told me. I was like, oh my God, all those kids are dead.
And I am going to claim, I'm going to take some credit here. I was one of the first people to be like, this movie is about a child killer. And everybody thought I was crazy. This was like early 90s, very early 90s.
I can attest. I was young, and Sean always was talking about it. And then he was talking about the tunnel thing and everything. He's like, that is a fucking acid trip or something.
Yeah, but you watched it when you were older. I watched it when I was younger.
So I watched it when I was a kid.
I watched it when I was young.
It was a scary movie. So I saw it when I was young, very young in the 80s, multiple times. It would come on around Thanksgiving before my mom got rid of the TV in 84 or whatever. I had seen it, and it scared the shit out of me as a kid. As a little kid, it scared me. I was like, he's killing these kids. And he's like, no. And I would just the little things he would say to the Oompa Loompas, like, oh no, I won't hold you responsible. Like, you can't juice a child. Like, that's not a thing. You can't do that. Like, you're going to kill that child. Like, you can't juice a child. That's not a thing.
Juice them.
But yeah, the
difference is
murdering the children.
You were living in fear your childhood. I was not.
Yes. So, it made it so that I was more aware of stuff because I had to be. I was constantly in survival mode. So when I saw that, I was like, this is about a dude who kills children and he gets away with it. And then it's shown to us to keep us in line, and it worked.
The fact that they showed all the children at the end of the second one, definitely.
Right. There was a reason why. Yeah.
Definitely means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ushered all those people away. There was a funny moment. It's literally at the very end of the new Wonka trailer. Hugh Grant plays an Oompa Loompa, That was the only part of the trailer that made me laugh. It genuinely made me laugh.
I'm laughing right now just thinking about it.
He's oddly perfect as an Oompa Loompa, and it's worth watching the trailer with the sound on just to hear the little tidbit at the end with Hugh Grant.
Oh,
I enjoyed that.
He's going to catch hell for taking that role. He's like, they're going to be like, you're taking it away from the little people.
No, little people don't get much representation.
It's okay.
They don't.
It's okay.
They don't give a fuck about them. They really don't. They get zero representation. It's fucked up. Okay, so yeah, we're going to read Marvels by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross. Came out in the 90s. I think you guys will dig it.
So this is something you read when you were younger?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to, and I'll give you fair warning now. The next time we do a comic, we're going to read something called Kingdom Come, which is kind of like the DC universe version of Marvels. But Marvels takes place early in the Marvel universe. Kingdom Come takes place late in the DC universe.
I just forgot everything you just said.
Marvels and Kingdom Come.
Yes.
Marvel's 90s. Yeah. And I'll have to listen to the end of the podcast to remember what to read on Monday.
Or text. You can always send a text.
I got a better shot.
Yeah. It's called Marvels. How hard is it to remember Marvels?
That's pretty fucking hard. Evidently, because I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll remember that, and then I don't.
Write it down on your notepad.
I in an hour from now, when I was in the office, I'd write it on the sticky note. But I'm out here and I have no sticky notes.
He's got the sticky notes.
But
you also have a notes app on your phone.
Yeah, I don't want to pick up my phone right now. I will forget everything we talked about in about a half hour.
This is the television toilet. I don't just pick this up anytime. Or the toilet television. Sorry, I said it backwards. All right. So, we'll be back next week with Marvels. Well, maybe not next week since Rob will be in town.
I'm on vacation too. So
all right. In 2 weeks, we'll be back with another episode. So thanks for listening.
Go watch Cliffhanger.
Ciao.